Famine strikes Gaza, human cost of the Palestine-Israel conflict. The escalating famine crisis in Gaza, set against the backdrop of the enduring Palestine-Israel conflict, presents a dire humanitarian situation. With resources dwindling, residents face unprecedented levels of food insecurity, magnifying the urgency for global attention. Understanding the roots of the Palestine-Israel conflict is essential to grasp the complexity of Gaza's current plight. Historical grievances, territorial disputes, and political tensions have perpetuated a cycle of violence and hardship for decades. The imposition of blockades and restrictions has severely exacerbated food scarcity in Gaza. These measures restrict the flow of goods and supplies, crippling the local economy and limiting access to basic necessities for survival. Personal stories from Gaza residents bring the grim reality of famine into sharp focus. Families recount their daily struggles to find enough food to sustain themselves, painting a vivid picture of the crisis's human toll. Military actions have further compromised Gaza's agriculture and food supply, destroying farmlands and disrupting fishing activities. These actions not only deplete immediate food sources, but also undermine long-term food security for the region. The international response to the escalating famine crisis in Gaza has been a mix of humanitarian aid, diplomatic efforts, and public advocacy. Countries and international organizations are mobilizing resources to address the immediate needs of the population. Yet political complexities often hamper these efforts. Delivering humanitarian aid to Gaza is fraught with challenges. Blockades and restrictions severely limit access, making it difficult to get food and medical supplies to those in dire need. Despite these obstacles, various NGOs and international agencies continue to work tirelessly, navigating complex logistics to provide relief. The famine in Gaza disproportionately affects children and vulnerable groups, leading to malnutrition and health complications. The international community is particularly focused on these populations, aiming to ensure that aid reaches them effectively to mitigate the long-term impacts on their health and well-being. Economically, the conflict has devastated Gaza's food security, leading to skyrocketing prices and widespread unemployment. The disruption of agricultural activities and destruction of infrastructure exacerbate the situation, highlighting the need for comprehensive strategies that address both immediate and systemic issues. The role of international law is pivotal in the conflict, with debates around the legality of blockades and the rights of civilians. Advocates argue that ensuring food access is not only a matter of humanitarian relief, but also a legal obligation under international law, urging for legal frameworks to facilitate aid delivery and protect human rights. Grassroots efforts in Gaza are shining a light of hope amidst despair. Local initiatives, driven by the resilient spirit of its residents, are tirelessly working to alleviate hunger. These community-led projects, from urban farming to food distribution networks, represent a beacon of self-reliance and solidarity in the face of adversity. The role of social media and digital campaigns in raising awareness about Gaza's famine crisis cannot be overstated. Through powerful storytelling and real-time updates, activists are leveraging these platforms to garner global support. Their efforts are crucial in mobilizing resources and drawing international attention to the urgent needs of Gaza's population. Exploring potential solutions to the famine crisis in Gaza requires a multifaceted approach. International intervention, sustainable agricultural practices, and the lifting of blockades are among the key factors that could pave the way for food security. Collaborative efforts between governments, NGOs, and the local community are essential to address the root causes of this crisis. Diplomacy plays a pivotal role in addressing the underlying causes of conflict and famine in Gaza. Through negotiation and dialogue, there is a possibility for peace and an end to the blockade, which would significantly improve access to food and resources. Diplomatic channels must be pursued with urgency to alleviate the suffering of Gaza's people. Looking towards the future of Gaza, scenarios for peace and food security are contingent on a collective global response and a commitment to justice. The resolution of the conflict, coupled with sustained humanitarian aid and development projects, could transform the lives of millions. The path to prosperity for Gaza requires unwavering international solidarity and action. Expert opinions from political analysts, humanitarians, and academics highlight the complexity of Gaza's situation. They emphasize the need for a multifaceted approach that addresses both immediate humanitarian needs and long-term political solutions. The psychological toll on Gaza's residents, living under constant conflict and food scarcity, cannot be overstated. The daily stress and trauma impact mental health, making the quest for normalcy and peace even more crucial. Global citizens can contribute to making a difference through awareness, advocacy, and support for credible organizations working on the ground. Engaging in informed dialogue and pressing for political action are key steps towards change. In summarizing, the escalating famine crisis in Gaza amidst the Palestine-Israel conflict requires urgent international solidarity. The blockade, military actions, and ongoing conflict hinder access to food and necessities, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. Reflecting on the discussions, it's clear that peace is not just a lofty ideal, but a necessity for the prosperity of Gaza. Resolving the conflict and ensuring food security are intertwined goals that demand immediate global attention and action. Please share this video to spread awareness. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Our prayers go out to everyone affected by this war.